Hey guys, today's episode is pretty explicit. We have a comedian friend on, so if you feel like you're easily offended, it's not for you. Have a good show.
Have a great show. Have the best show.
Already in tears.
7.
Yes, welcome back to another episode. This is as always the 257 Collective Podcast. You know what that sound means. My name's Matt, and I'm once again joined by my two very best friends, Kailyn J. Ponga, Connor William Watson. What's going on, lads?
Hey, why was it so flat?
Oh,
There was no energy in
No,
it.
it was a bit.
There was a bit. There was a bit.
He had a big thing last night. You know, he's a bit tired from his debut.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, it's all right.
No, I'm not.
mate.
I'm fired up.
We've got Cliffo, live audience. He's sitting. You can't see him, but hopefully we get a laugh out of him. Happy to have him in town.
He's already made a bit of noise. Thank you,
Yeah.
Cliffo.
Yeah, love you, mate. Love your work.
Thank you.
I'm well. How are you, mate? Let's start with you, mate.
I'm good.
Yeah,
Connor?
happy? That's
Yeah.
all. That's all you got?
I'm good. I've had a good week. Bit of a rough ending to the week. Not the way it wanted to go, not the way it was all planned, but
Got to
it was
live
a
out
good week.
a childhood dream though, Matt.
It was a dream. It
Yes?
was a dream come true. It was
I
good.
love it.
Yeah. How are you, Connor?
I'm good. So I want to talk about your debut,
Yeah, let's touch on it.
but just
I'd love to.
let me get to that a little bit later. Now I need to bring up something, all right? Now, a lot of people think living with Kailyn is, you know, it's the bee's knees, right? They think
Yeah.
it's the grouse, the
He's
Mickey Mouse.
He's happy. You know, he's stress free.
Not the Mickeys.
But I need to bring up a couple things that happened this last week. And this is just to show you where Kailyn's mind's at. It's been a tough, right, he got broken up with the other
Oh
week.
my god, mate.
Heart was broken. He bought himself a pillow. But there's two things that happened this week, and I just need to know where your head at is, Kailyn. All right, so I'm sitting there on the lounge the other day, just watching TV, minding my business. Kailyn comes in, hey, bro, I'm just going to go to the server. I'm going to get some ice. Do you want anything? I'm like, nah, all good. You go. Comes back, walks in with a heap of lollies. I'm like, oh, yeah, sweet. And then he goes, fuck. You won't believe what I just done. I paid for the ice, and he just drove off and never got the ice, so he had to go back and get it.
I forgot the
What
ice.
goes through your head sometimes? Honestly, what goes through it?
Honest, do you want to? I'll talk you through that. So I was so excited to get home and eat the lollies that when I got home, I realised I actually went there for the ice.
What about today? When I gave you a run sheet to bring something, and then when we turned up here, you had nothing. What goes through your head when when I ask you, like, just a simple? It's not actually a favour, because I'm not asking you to do something for me. I'm asking you to do something for the collective.
Yeah, I did it. I've done it, and not fortunately, I was at training today. I had a tough day.
Okay.
I think it was 7 till 2:30, and then the podcast was at 3. Yeah, so
No, it wasn't.
7.
We had breakfast together at 9.
anyway, tell them about the other thing I did.
Yeah, and then, so I had like 5 house keys here, and
I've lost all of them.
there was 4 that were Kailyn's, 1 that's mine. He lost 4 of the house keys, so the only key that we had was my one. And we'd do things like we'd go to training, come home. He'd text me. I'd be getting sushi down the road. He'd be like, "Where are you, bro?" I'm like, "No, I'm just getting sushi." And then I would come home and he's just sitting out the back here because he can't get in the house. So yesterday we're doing a little bit of shopping, and we're at the shops. I'm like, "Bro, take this downstairs. Go get like 5 keys cut for yourself, all right?" Yeah. So he goes downstairs, gives him the key, whatever. We go about our day. Anyway, we get home, out the front, I go, "Okay, you got those keys?" I left him at the key cutting place.
Any accountability?
Yeah.
What did he say?
He did.
No,
He went back to Qatar, and I was actually pissed off.
Yeah, he was.
Mate,
He was.
It pisses me off too.
He was.
It pisses me off.
He was, because you know what I did? He goes, "Where's the keys?" And I went, "What keys?" Like, what? You didn't give me the keys. In my head, I thought that, and then I had to quickly retrack. And he was a little bit annoyed at me. I could see it.
A little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
Can you see where he's coming from?
Yeah, but he's me.
Can you see where I'm coming
He's
from?
me mate, so he understands. And at the end of the day, I got the job done.
He's happy.
He's happy.
He's happy. Just quickly, just before we get into the rundown of the show, we got a 2 fan shout out. So Jasper Katie's, I believe it was his birthday on the weekend, and Jacob Cummins. So shout out to them 2 boys, always sending in their messages. We want to talk about the debut.
Yeah, let's talk about your debut, Croaks. I just want to say,
Massive.
yeah, inspirational, mate. You know, the way you've handled yourself in the last 12 months, 6 months, you know, on the tools 3 days ago.
Yeah.
Made your NRL debut on the weekend. How'd you find it?
It was tough, yeah. Yeah, it was pretty tough, but it was a tough game to debut in, I think.
Very tough.
Playing that game in any level would have been tough. We were on the back foot a fair bit. We were defending a bit, so made a few tackles alongside you, I think.
Yeah, we did. We made a lot of tackles together.
Because we were talking a lot together. It was mad.
Yeah, it was nice.
Yeah, we were grunting in each other's ears and stuff. It was just it was a bit of a, it was just a bit of a shit sort of way it all went, and yeah, you just sort of get a bit embarrassed for all the supporters that turned up. 23,000, I think there was, and it was
great. It was a big game, man.
It was Old Boys Day, and the feeling was electric. So I was so fortunate enough to debut in that game in particular. But yeah, just a bit deflating, letting them all down.
How'd you find the week,
mate? It was pretty crazy. Like you said, I was a landscaper 5 days ago, and now now I've made my NRL debut. So the Tuesday was mental. Finding out was mental. Then having to sort things out to make sure I sign a contract so that I could be eligible to play.
Do you want to tell the story? What happened?
Oh, I was just driving the work truck, and then I got the call from the coach. He said, "You're in." I had to go and race to go sign a contract, or else I wouldn't have been in. But I was in a work truck driving to Bunnings, and then had to drive back to the work site, and then had to drive the work truck back to where my car was, and then drive 40 minutes to Newcastle.
Lucky your car got you there too.
Mate, we give my car a lot of stick, but fucking can go. Mate, along that expressway, it's got ticker. And then I finally got back there, signed this contract, and then about 20 to 4, it got lodged and approved, and had to be approved by 4 o'clock. So I got pretty lucky. And then Wednesday, Thursday, trained with you boys, which was good. Made me feel more comfortable about being in the team. Friday, day off, and then Saturday, captain's run, and then the game, didn't go to plan, but it was good fun.
Straight into it. That's awesome. KP, anything
How
for
are I got to speak in front of the sponsors lounge, and everyone up there was asking about you, and like Connor said, just the way you've taken the last 6 months. I reckon there's no person that deserves it more, and like you didn't have to train those few days before the game for us to have confidence in you. I think all the boys wanted you there from the get-go, and that speaks a lot about you. And I think the way you handled yourself throughout the game, I was up there watching. Mate, you didn't do yourself or your family or anyone. You made them proud, and I was up there in awe. Like I loved it. So
thanks, bro.
I know you talk about it and you say that it's a bit of a bittersweet feeling.
Yeah, it was.
But you get one debut. So
yeah, exactly.
Apart from the score,
Yeah.
you should be happy.
Yeah, well, I was, and I was.
It's hard. I know it's hard to be.
It's hard to be, but I was, and it was good. It was good fun. I got to do it with a lot of my good mates. Like, what's that, mate?
No,
don't worry. Yeah, I got to do it with some of my best mates. I got to do it with Connor, Tex, BJ, Jay Staff, Johnsy.
Yeah.
And I could rattle off pretty much the whole team. So it was a good feeling. We'll finish off on that. We're gonna do something different today. Usually we do the rundown, but whoever's watching can see that we actually have 4 mics today. Because we thought we'd bring it,
Kailyn.
Yeah, cough into it. There you go.
Yeah,
It
works. It's working.
So we thought we'd bring in a guest today, and so we were looking at Newcastle personalities, and they don't get much bigger physically, and I don't know the other word I'm looking for, but let me introduce our guest, Issac Butterfield, also known as Thebuttsmarn.
Ooh.
Woo!
Yeah.
Yes. Fucking hello.
How you going? How are you, mate?
This is good, and congratulations on yesterday. You played like shit, but it's good that you're on the field. I mean, that's the main thing.
Mate, we're doing the roast later. You don't have to roast me yet. You played like shit.
It's great to be here with some quality Newcastle talent and Mr. Watson, of course. Yeah. Seriously, it is good. It is good.
Oh, wow. What a start, mate.
It's great to be here. 257 Collective, the biggest sporting podcast in this particular street. And I tell you what, it's just, I'm absolutely fucking stoked to be here.
For those who don't know, Issac is a...
Don't know.
How'd you start off? Yeah, for you fuckers
Who
that
the
are,
fuck doesn't know me? Sorry, I'm just being an asshole.
he's Thebuttsmarn on Instagram and YouTube. It would be your biggest platform, yeah?
Yeah, no, 1.7 million, not counting or anything.
Yeah, no, of course,
something like
yeah.
that. Who
Yeah.
fucking knows? But
Is that
yeah,
a lot? Yeah.
it's a lot.
Just
that make you a big
shy
thing?
of our 2 million, actually.
Yeah, just shy. But it's getting there. You know, it's been a long journey, but we're getting there. But thanks for having me, gentlemen. It's great to have some boys putting out some work in the city as far as this new sort of area of media and podcasting certainly is a big part of that. And you've got a lot of fans and a lot of people that are really committed to you. So congratulations.
Newcastle boy.
Yeah, man. I was born in New Lambton, a couple of streets away from the stadium, in Glossop Street there, and spent a lot of time at training when I was a young man with my old man playing, and it was great, man. I loved living here, and I lived in Dudley for a long time, beautiful part of the world, and now with my job, I get to travel everywhere like you blokes, and I don't know how you feel, but I love coming back home. It feels like a beautiful part of the world, and I'm very lucky to be able to live here.
You say come back home. That we're going to give you a little plug here. You're on tour now.
I am on tour at the moment.
Talk about it.
Mate, I tell you, it is the greatest hour of your life. Some people say the birth of your first child's exciting. Me on stage being a pig is the greatest thing that you will ever see. No, it'll be good. I'm going everywhere, about 45 different shows. I'm going to big cities, even shit holes like Launceston. I'm going everywhere.
What's the shittest of them all?
The
What's
shittest of them all, I already did it. It's on the Central Coast. You'll know about that. So it's went down to the Central Coast. Central Coast is the only venue that I'm actually banned from. I got banned from what's it called? Somewhere on the Central Coast there because I carried on. I chucked a mad hissy fit.
Yeah.
They wouldn't give me a free beer. And I had like 400 people there paying customers and they wouldn't give me a free beer. And I like to have a couple of beers on stage. I was driving home, so I wasn't getting on the sauce. And I'm not like an NRL player. and they wouldn't give me a beer. So I cracked the shits on stage. I said, fuck these guys. We're all leaving this venue after these pricks are fucked. And I got banned from it.
What joint was it?
It was the... Oh shit! I should know. It's ingrained in my brain. But I'm not avoiding answering that. But it'll come to me.
So what's the tour called?
It's called the Outlaw Tour. Now the reason it's called the Outlaw Tour is we called it the Outlaw Tour a year ago and filmed all the advertising for it, and the coronavirus happened, and I'm not spending that money again. So I'd love to say it's an artistic thing. It's just because I'm a tired ass.
And you can get your tickets where, mate?
On my website. You can get them on my website, IsacButterfield.com/tickets.
Yeah.
There you go.
That's what I wrote down.
Yeah, well, I wanted
that's
him to
why.
plug it. I didn't want to steal his thunder.
Heck,
He's
your
the
graphics,
guest.
and you get your graphics to come along the screen.
Yeah, Jay, can we work? Can we do that?
KP, if you want to put some effort in, you can do that.
Yeah, whatever you need, mate, I'll do.
Thanks, brother. Well, you're not
Just for
doing
you,
anything else
just
at the
for you.
moment. I mean, what did you do up at Origin Camp to hang out?
He was too busy to do his stuff for the podcast.
When I turned up at your house, I saw you putting the little the ice bag on just to fucking prove a point. Started hobbling when you saw me. Oh yeah, mate, don't let the news get out. Danny Widler's sniffing, not Danny Widler.
Yeah,
Danny Widler. He's sniffing out the front trying to get a photo of you. But I absolutely despise redheads. Sorry, I absolutely despise. This is what I was talking to you about before. My mate Matt, who's a school teacher, during recess today, said to me, "You got to talk about Ponga's red hair." I said to my missus, I said, "Does he have red hair?" We started looking at you again. We go, "You don't have red hair."
Honestly, what do you reckon?
Are you serious?
Oh, there's some. No.
Yeah.
How many freckles he got?
He's got one big one.
No. He's a good. He's a good man. I'm a big fan of the Pong Daddy and the Watt Daddy and well, I mean, I'm sure you're good too.
Crocodile.
And Cliffo, who's in the bloody audience, Jimmy can kick a ball. That good-looking man. I'm fucking in love with him.
He's a
too, don't worry
good-looking man,
about it.
eh?
Isn't he?
He's a good
Is he a
man.
single man?
23,
No,
no.
he's not married.
Oh, married.
Child on the
Married.
way.
Kid on the way. So.
Oh well,
Papa Cliff.
that's
He's,
unfortunate.
Hey,
congratulations.
Isaac, you're talking about shitholes. Now,
Welcome to the show.
a place that I like personally, Kailyn likes it too, but I don't know if you're a big fan of it. Byron Bay, mate. Do you want to tell me what happened up there? I've seen some headlines. There's a bit of controversy.
As far as toilets of the world, Byron Bay is certainly up there. I actually really I love Byron Bay. It's such a beautiful part of the world.
It is.
See, I've had this running issue with Byron Bay. They attacked me on their radio station, their community radio station, about 3 years ago, and I made this big carry-on about it, made a YouTube video about it, and so many people got involved. They started ringing the station and putting bad reviews online about the station and the show that we're talking about. They called me all these horrible names, and basically it was just for me to sell the show out. That's why I was talking about it. You know, controversy, it sells tickets. And we did. We sold the show out. And then 2-3 years later, when we do the show on the weekend, the community notice board on Facebook's getting all this shit, all this stuff about me, about how much of a racist, how much I hate women. It was a great art. You should put the post up if you can find it. It said, this bloke is a racist, he's xenophobic, and he hates women. They're all true, but the thing is, it's not true at all. It's ridiculous. The thing is, I just started reposting it and just going, and I wrote on my Facebook page, I shared it, I was going, look at these blokes. They are the biggest fat in the world. And then the Daily Telegraph wrote an article about it and quoted me by saying, they are the biggest dirty fat in the world. And it is the best quote of all time. I think you guys should bring it into your post-match. Like,
Is that the biggest blue you've been in?
I had a dude come to a show, a vegan dude. He's a big, tall dude, probably about my height. And I'm 6'8", so big dude, right? Yeah. And he
I'm
come up.
6'1", almost.
Double Connor's size.
Yeah, no, you're looking good. No, more time in the ice bath. And he got right in my face and tried to blue me and all this type of shit. But
For what?
Oh, just because I talk shit about vegan food. That is literally it. But, you know, it's, in all honesty, I went to Byron. Everyone's cool. Everyone had a lovely time. I got to meet everyone after the show. That's what I do after every show. I do about an hour and a half. I meet everyone, shake hands,
cool.
kiss babies, all that type of shit. Yeah. Most people in
Sign boobs.
Yes. No, mate. I'm a married man almost. I almost sign and I'm the Kailyn Ponga of comedy. I don't know what's going to get cut out of this episode, but we're having fun.
Not much.
Hey, Butsy, we wanna ask a couple questions here. So, YouTube's obviously your biggest following. When you started, it can be a tough crowd to enter in. How was it at the start?
Well, I started trying to make a name for myself on Facebook. And I actually started making videos about like state of origin and stuff. My idea, right, I made 2 videos about Newcastle, the Dickhead's Guide to Newcastle 1 and 2. And my idea was to basically focus on making a following here, and then I moved to making it in New South Wales and then Australia and then onwards from there.
Now you're worldwide.
Basically, yeah. Of my views per week, which is about there's about 1 million a week, right?
A week. Wow.
And
Jeez,
not on one
that's
video,
like-
but across the
like
whole
Across
thing.
it all.
Across it all. It's about 1 million a week, so I'm making good cash. And and the breakdown is like 60% Australian, 40% American. So it is quite, it's crazy. It's insane. And when I went overseas to the UK and I did shows, man, there was people in London. I don't think there was one Aussie there. It was all Londoners. And that is insane to be able to go to a different country and everyone knows your name and knows.
Were you nervous? Do you know how many tickets have sold to your shows?
Yeah. Usually. I know. I get nervous at smaller shows.
Okay.
Like when it's like
No
when it's
atmosphere.
really sort of, because when you go to like a big show, like the biggest show I did was almost 2,000 people at the Enmore in 2019. And that was insane.
Yep.
Like, I never thought I'd do that. And it was like sort of a thing I always wanted to do was to play that particular venue. And when I walked on stage, like I was scared. The roar was insane. And my intro now, when I come on stage, and I went to Bruce Buffer's Instagram, and I said to Bruce Buffer, can you do me an intro? So he does my intro on stage now.
Oh, I think I've heard that.
So it's like, it's time. Please make welcome to the stage, Issac Butterfield, and it's Bruce Buffer. People are like, oh, is that an impressionist? It's really good. I said, no, it's fucking Bruce Buffer. $950 American, anyone can have it.
Is it on your YouTube or anything?
No. It literally only this weekend was the first time I'd used it. So,
Well, I haven't
it's
heard
cool. It's cool. It's really cool. So, but yeah, when you walk on stage and you get hit with that, I mean, it's like you blokes when you run out at a big crowd. You get hit with that thing. The one difference though there's a lot of differences, but one of the big differences with playing footy and running out a big crowd, you're nervous. You have your first run, or you get hit in the head, or you get knocked around, or whatever. You're sort of in the game.
Yeah, it's gone.
Yeah.
It's gone. The thing with stand-up is you get fired up. Like I'm backstage shadow boxing and running around like a madman. I am because I'm usually by myself for about an hour, freaking out, all that type of shit. And you hit the stage and then you just there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, that's it. There's no having a hit up. There's no making a tackle. There's nothing like that. So
Does the first
strange.
laugh sort of get that? Is it equivalent to a tackle or
It's good
involvement?
to get.
Or
It is.
When they laugh at you that first time, you're like, okay, I'm here.
So when you get past a few jokes and you just get in the rhythm of it, that's when you're ready. That's when you're really rolling. It's like that
Sounds similar.
that flow state where people talk about.
Yeah, the flow state.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's all about you're in that flow state and you're throwing out different jokes and you're this and that. And you might even do new material you've never done before. Like in Lismore on the weekend, we did a big show, about 350 people, and my missus said after the show, "Oh, you did some new stuff." And I was like, "Yeah, I didn't think I was going to do any new stuff," and it just sort of came to me halfway through the show, you know. So it was good.
So it's not like you go in with a set plan. Do you?
No, I do. I have an hour show, and basically I just run past. I've got like 7 or 8 dot points that I know is the show, and that's how I do it.
What about an encore?
No. Once I've done an hour, I take my money and I fucking run. I don't have to work anymore. And Byron Bale's like, fuck you, bye. No, I actually go out and I flog my merch after the show.
Yes.
So I meet everyone. You've got the shirt on there. You got the hat on. Apparently, not so
KP's
much.
too good for it.
KP brushed it.
Yeah, I've seen him hanging the shirt over his shoulder and he brushed it.
Sorry.
It's okay. It's all right. I'll forgive you. But yeah, no, man. I love what I do, and you know what's? It's great to meet people, and I've done a lot of podcasts and stuff like that in the past, and I've talked about a lot of things like mental health and weight loss and things like that. When I finished playing, I was 134 kilos, and then I got down to 94. And as a 6'8" dude, like that's pretty skinny,
that's right, man.
Yeah,
And
wow.
it was probably too skinny, but keto diet, training every day, all that type of shit. So there's a lot of people that come to me after the show and they're like, "Man, thank you very much for your weight loss advice and thank you for this." And I'm working on I got depression problems and I'm going to see the doctor on Tuesday and shit like that. And I love that. I love that.
That's so cool, man.
Yeah, it's a big reach and it's a big responsibility to not be a piece of shit. Yeah. Like, I know a lot of people say I'm a piece of shit, but if you have somewhere deep inside your psyche a good positive sort of outlook and you're trying to help people in some sense, then that will always make itself through.
Yeah.
I was just going to ask you, like, along the lines of, you know, the people that think you're a piece of shit. How do you deal with that? How do you deal with that criticism?
I'd say, "Mum, why?" Dude, okay, so I did a Christchurch joke after the Christchurch massacre. Listen, I know it sounds like a horrible thing. It's not real. It's pretend. Not the massacre, obviously that happened, but the joke. It's not real. I don't actually believe these things, and that's the big point about humour is you can say anything as long as the whole point is a joke. And I know you blokes probably get a few DMs on Instagram. Watch out, Cliff. And you won't even listen. You don't know what you're smiling at. And I had in a week. And I'm not being hyperbolic. Big word, I know.
Exaggerating? Is that what that means?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. I had
Kailyn.
80,000 DMs.
Holy shit!
No way.
Full like, so when you get 1,000 DMs, you delete it and it goes to 0 and then it like refreshes. I did it 80 times.
What?
And it was all like, "I hope you die. I hope you kill yourself. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I'm going to find you," all that type of shit. And it was crazy, man. It was actually right at the time with the coronavirus was at its peak and everyone was using masks, so I could sort of hide a little bit.
Yeah,
Was that?
But it was scary, bros. It was.
Yeah, that would be.
But I get death threats every day. It's just a part of life.
Yep.
Yeah.
you just brush it. You just brush it off.
Yeah, pretty much.
Have you always had that mentality?
You have
from
to.
the first moment? I guess in your industry, you definitely have to. But
You have
like
to.
people that listen to the show and we're athletes, we get hecklers, we get that sort of stuff, and yeah, if some people find it really hard. I guess being a comedian.
Well,
it comes with the...
It does. It comes with the territory. And if you're not ready for it, then it's going to be a really tough learning curve. Like, people send death threats and they shouldn't. I mean, I had Mitch Barnetta's first try scorer yesterday. I sent him a couple of choice words. $61. Come on, Mitch. I fucking needed that, bro. Now the kids can't eat. And I hear football players carry on about that. "Oh, they sent me this because I wasn't first try scorer." Well, do your fucking job, bitch. Anyway, I fucking love Mitch Barnett. He's my favourite player. No offence to you guys. I love you guys too. You're fantastic blokes. But Mitch Barnett, my favourite player by far.
He is a beast.
He's a beast. He's scary. But yeah, it's part and parcel with the game. If you're going to go out and talk shit about people and be horrible and be mean, a lot of people don't get it. Like I can say anything I want about you guys, and you know that I'm just fucking around.
Yeah.
But you say it online, people think you're dead serious. They think you're a fucking politician.
Yeah.
And it's just not like that, man. It's just not like that at all. Like in some office spaces, you can't even say you can't say anything that you'd say around your mates. And I bet it's the same with you guys. You got to be careful.
In interviews,
No,
of
we
course.
do. Yeah,
You see, 27 now, Butsy. You've been doing stand-up for 7 years.
Yes.
When did it all sort of start taking off massively?
I did a video about. I thought it was a shit video, and I to the story of how it took off on YouTube. I'd put up a video two videos every week for a year, and I got 10,000 subscribers.
Yep.
And then one went off, and it was a video about 10 reasons not to come to Australia.
Oh, we watched that the other day. We watched that the other day.
I was just reacting, and I thought it was a shit video, and it went from 0 to 1 million views in like 3 days, and I went from 10,000 to 100,000 subscribers in a week.
Wow!
And so for someone who was just busting their ass,
Yeah.
it's exactly the same story as you. You're busting your ass as a landscaper, and all of a sudden you get a call up. It's the same thing with me with YouTube. You get a call up, and it is that moment that you have to harness. All right, and not play like you did on Sunday. No, but you know that.
Wow. Jeez, I'm wearing them. That's right. It's all good. Hey, comedian's mentality. Just brush it off. Brush it off.
No, you did, but it's the same thing. You have that moment, and you seized it. You got there. You had to get the contract signed. You got it fucking done. It's the same with me. I got another 2 videos out that week. It bumped up, and then 3 years later, it's where it is now.
Is that your biggest video? Was it 6 million? I think it was.
Like that. Yeah.
Crazy. This might be a little bit weird for you. Do you believe much in like spirituality and the universe? Like,
Yeah. I'm
the law of attraction.
Yeah, I'm pretty spiritual. Like I believe in things that probably aren't going to happen, like Ponga coming back this year.
I love how he just took that like full serious question
and then just turned it into that
dagger.
That's a full dagger too. Like that's
because you're next to me and you're looking at me. I can just see your eyes out the corner of mine. So, so also on the topic of copping shit, like when you get paid more, you have to cop shit more. Like that's just the way it is.
Agree.
You know, it's like it's the tax for getting paid more. It's like part of my job is dealing with bullshit and horrible people and stuff like that. And I know it's part of the game. And that's what happens when you invite me to your house. I'm sorry.
It's good.
So
I love that.
I do these docos where I go and I do ghost hunts. You should watch it. Like I really, really like them. We spend like each one costs about $7,000 to make, and we put a lot of effort into everything.
What's a ghost hunt?
Like ghost hunting.
Ghost hunting. We go
Like
hunting.
go
for
to
ghosts.
haunted houses and shit.
Legit.
Is it a comedy sort of thing?
Yeah, we talk shit and all that type of stuff. We went to Maitland Jail up there, and we did awesome stuff like that. We had.
That's pretty cool.
It's
Can we come
Can
on
we
one?
get involved? Yeah.
I'd love you to come on one.
That would be so sick.
When's your next one?
I did a ghost tour on the rocks in Sydney, and it was shit.
Really?
Yeah, so I hope this isn't like that.
Well, we had some weird things sort of happen. I've actually got this video here. Now, this is a video that I can send to you blokes. The first time and the only time that we had anything actually happen on one of these hunts, it was a haunted museum on the Gold Coast. And I just made a TikTok the other day. Go and follow me on TikTok for weird shit.
Shit that don't get taken down, eh?
No, it all gets taken down. But basically what happened was we're in this room and the lady's given us the information about this old stroller that's there from the 1920s. And I am standing like here facing the camera. Behind me is the co-host Zach, and over there is my partner Claire. And here, where you are, there's a whisper.
Yeah.
It's the only paranormal experience I've had on any of these.
How many have you done?
And I can show you. I'll turn mine down, and I'll
Talk
show
us
you
through
there
What's
the actual
your
video.
TikTok?
TikTok is
give it
the
a plug.
Thebuttsmarn.
Okay, it's mine.
It's very good.
Let's listen.
So it'll be hard to actually.
At head height, it was very, very strange, and I couldn't really work out what had happened.
So I think maybe it was played with a lot. A lot. A lot.
Right there. Liar.
Maya.
No, not fucking Maya.
What does it say?
Liar.
Oh, liar.
Liar. If you listen to that, it says liar. And that was my only experience that I've had that I was just like, because you know when when you flinch,
There was no reason.
if something
Yeah,
happens,
yeah,
like someone's
yeah.
behind you, going to scared. That's what happened. And there was no one behind me. And at the end, I said to Zach, was that you? Like, are you creeping my ear or whatever? He goes, nah, but I think I heard it too. It was fucking creepy.
And then
Where
when
do
you
you-
checked the mic back, were you just freaking out?
Yeah, because I sent it to Connor, my producer, and he was like, dude, we caught it.
Where can you find all these videos?
All on YouTube.
Yeah.
If you look up just my name and then Ghost Hunt, or we also did a UFO hunt with this dude. He was insane. Lovely guy, but just not insane as in like crazy, but just the stories he had. He's been followed by UFOs. He sees them every night. And we
Well,
were
they're
up-
real. Like,
Yeah.
they're out in the government in America.
Yeah, they've
got the
admitted to
records out now. So
Yeah. So here's a conspiracy for you that I made up in the shower. And it explains my tiny cock. No. The reason the Rona exists is so that we get vaccines so we don't infect the aliens that are coming. It's complete bullshit, but it sounds cool.
Wow.
So we did that, and we also did a Bigfoot one, right? The Yowie hunt.
that's so good.
And the Yowie one's my favourite. You really should watch it. It goes for about an hour, and it's.
Wow.
I was surprised with how many people watched it. Like nearly 500,000, 600,000 people watched an hour.
Wow.
long doco.
Wow.
Wow.
And which is crazy numbers for
Yeah,
an hour
huge.
long of me doing something weird, right?
Yeah.
So we get taken out into the bush by this dude called Ron, and Ron's like, you know, you in this game of doing ghost shit, like you meet some weird people, right?
Yeah, you would.
You do, and the people are like, oh, I get told by all these people that they're witches and they're fucking all this and all that, and I'm just like, okay, cool, wonderful, great stuff, and but this dude Ron was just a dude. He was just Cliffy on the lounge. He was just doing his thing, and he goes, mate, I was in the bush probably about 6 years ago, just walking my dog, and this 8 foot tall ape ran out in front of me. He said, I saw it clear as day. It ran up in the tree and disappeared. And we went out that night, and I've never been more scared in my life. It was fucking horrifying.
Yeah? Fuck, I'm going to watch that
Bro,
tonight.
So what? He's just dedicated his time ever since
His whole life.
to finding.
Finding Bigfoot.
and he's just
Has
sweet.
he said anything? Any
He's
any
seen
leads
it since.
or
He's seen
any-
it since. So this is the
any
thing.
photos?
No, this is the problem. The reason.
Anything?
This is. I'm Ron. You're me, right?
Yeah.
And I said, Ron, why is there no photos? And he said, because they're interdimensional beings. And I went, okay. Because we started having that conversation. Like, oh, whatever.
Oh yeah.
here we go.
Yeah, sweet,
But
mate.
we were in the bush, middle of the night on this track, and there is dead quiet. There's sticks clicking. There's trees snapping. There's you can hear footprints. And it didn't sound like something like sort of stalking. It sounded like someone walking in the bush.
Big fella.
The big fella.
The big
Croaks.
fella.
They might have mistaken you for the big thing.
I'm hairy enough.
Hey, yeah, if you're actually gonna do something like that soon, we'd be keen. Proper,
Yeah.
different experience, but I'm down.
Why not? Why not? Because I tell you
I'd
what,
love to.
It's something different, and it's fun. It's scary, and we did a table tipping thing. It's sort of like a Ouija board, and the ladies were like,
Have you done that?
Yeah, all the time. We do these.
Yeah, all the time.
I probably would
hate
tap
it.
out
that
at that
thing
point.
in the mirror. Bloody.
No, I don't do that. I don't do that. That
Bloody
creeps me
Mary.
out.
Bloody Mary, isn't it?
Is it in the mirror?
Don't say it one
do
more time. We're fucked. Say it one more time. Turns up. And fuck you boys doing. And yeah, so we did the Ouija boards. They put me in Maitland jail in this satanic cell that this dude died in. He killed himself and he lit himself on fire, and apparently the devil's in there and he made a deal with the devil, yada yada yada.
Yeah.
And they put me in there blindfolded. I hate blindfolds. It freaks me out. And they took the blindfold off. The floor's covered in Ouija boards and candles and shit. It was fucking horrible.
Are they trying to freak you out?
Yeah, and I fucking hated it, and I was just like, no, this is not happening. This is not fucking happening. So we can do something like that, but it's really, really good fun. And the great thing about Newcastle is there's so much history. You know 2300 Cafe near
I don't know.
Peter Johnson runs it. He used to play for the Knights.
No.
It's next to Customs House.
Oh, yeah.
Just
yeah,
near
yeah.
there. There's a convict lumber yard there, right? And on that convict lumber yard, there was a dude one day, and this is an absolutely true story. There's history books written, or there's parts in history books written about this exact same thing. Imagine that thing right now, right? There's a tram that goes past it, all this type of stuff. What the fuck are you giggling at?
Sorry, I'm still laughing at the Bloody Mary joke. Sorry.
And so there's this dude, this convict, right, that another convict goes up to, he stole his, who knows, whatever, he did something, and he guts him, right? And they don't help him. He lays on the street there. Remember that street right next to fucking Customs House and next to the Great Northern?
Yep.
Lays there for 2 days screaming. And no one helped him.
No one helped him.
And that happened in Newcastle 200 years ago to where we walk on or get on a tram.
Get on a tram.
If we're poor. If we get on a tram there. You know what I mean? So Newcastle's full of history. It's a beautiful place. And first coal mine in Australia too, underneath Fort Scratchley. In 1804 opened there. So
Wow.
Yeah.
You know your facts.
Yeah.
I don't muck around.
Hey, is there anything you won't joke about?
No way. No. I joke about autism. My brother's autistic and I joke about him. It's just I just attack everything.
What happens if they don't laugh in the crowd? Or they just do?
Do you just not care?
I usually abuse them. I go, fuck off, that's funny. Because especially if it's a joke that I know has worked in other places, I go, it's not the joke, it's you. Right? So that's basically it.
I was gonna ask if you could tell your worst joke, but maybe.
Nah, you don't want to hear it.
No, I don't think I do.
You don't want to hear it. On the 20th of November, come to the Newcastle show. I'll give you all tickets.
I'm coming.
20th of November.
20th of November.
100%.
It's at the Civic Theatre, a beautiful old theatre here in Newcastle, and I love it there. It's my favourite place to perform, so
that's
it'll be really
exciting.
good. Hopefully pack it out, about 1,600 people, and it'll be beautiful.
Home crowd.
Yeah, I mean, I love that because it would be like you guys. You drive from your house where you're a fucking nobody, and then you do the show and you're like some big hero, and you go home, you're like watching Midsummer Murders, going, oh yeah, that was good.
Well, on that, we might we brought Butsy in here to also play some of our segments as we do each week. So I'm pretty excited to listen to him do his first world and his roast segment. Do you want to kick it off with the roast?
Yeah, sure. I wrote it down.
You wrote them down.
I was scared.
You've been roasting us this whole time.
I know.
Well, I've
I
actually-
like it. No, I like it. I like it. It's good.
I've actually got to cut some out because I've already used them.
I love that.
I've noticed Kailyn Ponga has a lot of tattoos and unique tattoos too. What did you go into 2012 tattoo parlor and ask for the basic bitch special? What's the 18s?
You're funny, man.
What's this? Okay, be serious. What's in the 18-year-olds Kailyn Ponga dates? Connor's jerseys. Honestly, I sit 3 rows back from the fucking opposition bench. I see you walk past like, who is this bloke? He's fucking jacked, man. The most surprising thing about Connor Watson, and I find this something about you that most people won't understand, is this young man came from squalor, a broken neighbourhood, a favela, if you will, one of the world's most desolate shitholes, an area that makes the battlegrounds of Israel and Palestine look like a bustling metropolis, the Central Coast. But this young man, he trained hard. He practiced passing. He kicked footies. He hit biceps twice a day. And he got out of that housing commission dump, and now he's realised his dream of sitting on the bench until CSO Sue comes off for a carver break.
That was the best.
Kailyn Ponga, as a redhead, it's round 14. You've only played 5 times this year. Now they're in winter. Are you less scared about sunburn? Head knocks are an issue. Head knocks are an issue. Wear your headgear. That's good. And these podcasts will be great. You'll be able to go back years and years into the future and look back at some great times. Like this podcast, we'll look back and laugh and look at yourselves in your prime of your career. Unfortunately, with the amount of head knocks that you get, you won't even be able to remember the name of the podcast to search it in iTunes. But no, seriously, you'll be in a bad spot. You'll make Mike Tyson look like a rogue scholar. Kailyn Ponga, or Pong Daddy, as I called you here. I noticed your Instagram bio. It says they want to bring me down, even in my own hometown. They want to bring me down, even in my hometown.
Jack Harlow.
What, from the coach's box? While the other players are running around playing grab ass on the field, otherwise known as Connor Watson on the 3rd floor of King Street. No, but honest question for both of you blokes living together. What do you get sick of more? And this is a serious question. Sleeping with the best looking girls in Newey or f***ing each other? And that was 20 minutes of riding, so come see the show.
That's ridiculous. I don't even want to do mine
I don't want to do mine either.
I've got one joke each.
I should have started.
Have you got any for me?
Nah.
Yeah, I do.
Nah, mine was a shit one. It was nowhere near as good as
we're
that.
not. We're not doing ours.
It's hard, man. But like, okay.
You go.
Isaac,
Yes.
you're a really successful comedian.
Agreed.
You got a massive YouTube following. And you've started your own clothing line.
I have. You're wearing my hat.
All of that fame and fortune, but you still can't afford a razor? Wow!
Dirty.
I thought that was all right.
Dirty.
No, that was good. That was good.
What did you think? Like, was that all right?
Mate, I'll wax my ass if you want me to. I don't know what you're talking about. You should grow a beard. What happened to the mo?
Nah, it's gone.
Nah,
Smelled
we
too
cut
much
it.
like Kailyn, did it?
Oh my God. I shouldn't even went at him, eh? I shouldn't even went at him.
You shouldn't have, man. Pick your battles. Pick your battles.
Holy hell.
I'm rattled. Should I pick on some people I can pick on? What's the difference between KP and a goldfish?
What?
Not much. They're both orange and are dumb as fuck.
So he's a redhead.
I'm not a redhead.
But you're not really redhead.
What do KP and Instagram filters have in common?
Well,
They both get used by hot chicks.
that's not a fucking dig. Yeah, who gives a shit? Jesus Christ! When I was Kaylyn's age, my balls were as blue as fucking. I don't know, something blue. That pool out the back. Good on you for spreading your seed across the community.
I can't even keep up with this guy, man. Croaks, my good friend. They say you find love in every corner. Croaks, you must be living in a circle.
That's good. That's really clever. Well done.
What's the difference between...
No, you've debuted now. There'll be heaps of slappers just chasing you up. We'll go to the print on Sunday. We'll be good.
What's the difference between Croaks and a calendar? A calendar has dates. All right, boys. You're cracking out.
I'm not.
Why did I go after him?
Mine was shit.
go.
I'm not doing mine.
Connor, you were funny. You were funny. You should take him to a show. You can call it 1.5 Men.
Not bad.
That's about what I got.
Did you write that one down?
I was going to say, I wrote that down.
That was really good. Well
How'd you
done.
think of that?
I was stressed and I had to think of something.
Yeah.
I was stressed before. Coach
Glad
was
you
on
think
my
about
nuts.
it.
Fair enough.
Nah, there's not really funny. Do you want to read it?
Okay. Croaks, we're so proud of you making your debut. It's good to finally see you at our level.
Wow.
Not even funny. He just said it, so it's funny.
But no, seriously, let us know what reserve grade's like next week.
He's good, eh?
All right, we're gonna move on.
No, you didn't go.
Nah, mine was rank.
Go.
We're gonna move
You
on
got
to
it.
the first
Go.
world problems. No,
You
I'm not
got
doing
them.
mine. No,
You
I
got
was
them.
just taking the piss out of myself.
It's hard, eh? It's hard to do it after.
Yeah, I'm not following.
That was good. Thank you for that.
No, that's
Honestly,
okay.
thank you.
That's okay.
That's
Remember
good.
when you
You're
didn't
good at
come
your
on my
job.
you wouldn't reply to me and come on my podcast even after you said you would?
Really? Really?
And then the butts, just got off
Can you
after
get us on
tour.
yours?
And Connor goes, do you want to come on the podcast? Yeah, man. I'll move my day around. Sure. KP.
How long ago was that?
I don't know, like
2 years
year ago?
Year ago?
What? So do you have a podcast?
Yeah, I did. I stopped it after Kailyn didn't come on because I was just like, this can't go on anymore. I was too shattered.
Did you go on it, Connor?
Nah.
No, I didn't know who Connor was. But I would like to at one point have all of you on.
No, I would love to.
If you're available.
Of
That would
course.
be
Love to.
fantastic. But
Yeah.
there's no hard feelings.
No, not at all. Not after everything you just said. There's none. It's good to see you're actually good at your job. No, that was funny.
No, and I can't wait to see you give it another go in a couple of weeks.
Kailyn, pick your battles.
You just set me up for it.
Glass houses, bro.
Pick your battles, Kailyn.
Glass houses.
Oh, I thought I'd give it a go. I thought it was right.
You know what?
You're great. You're the man.
You know what? We might almost wrap it up there. We're going to finish with a bit of advice. You got anything for
What
us,
about the
Butsy?
first world problem?
Do you want to do it?
Yeah, I've got one.
Let's do it.
Cuticle issues.
Cuticle.
Every time I put my fancy shoes on, like my Nikes or whatever, I always tear me cuticles. If anyone's got any hot tips, let me know.
What's a cuticle?
You know, on the bottom of your fingernails there?
Oh, yeah.
You know how they get torn?
Yeah.
And when you put like quality shoes on, like if they're like a leather shoe or whatever, I always get mine torn, and it's fucked, and it hurts, and it bleeds. And if you do it when you're getting ready for like you got an engagement or a show or whatever, and you're wearing a white shirt, you put your shoes on, and you might accidentally pull your cuticle out. See, there's one right there.
Yeah, no.
See that?
I get what you're talking about. Yeah, I get what you're talking about.
If they bleed, they go on your shirt, and it's a fucking horrible thing. It's a first world problem. I would imagine that kids in Africa don't really care about cuticle issues, but it's something that I worry about daily.
Connor, what do you got? I'll go. You know Connor's lounge now? It's the Grouse Lounge, but it's got the lounge island that connects to it. When that gets pushed out a couple inches, it fucking does my head in.
You okay?
No, I'm not. It does my head in. Can you agree?
Yeah, posture. It's not good for the back.
It's rank.
You start sinking
Did you
into
say
it.
posture?
Posture.
Connor, what do you got?
I had this. My cleaner actually sent me this.
My
one.
cleaner.
Oh, our cleaner. Yeah.
Your cleaner.
He said it. I clean my own stuff up.
I'd love a cleaner.
She's the go. Actually, if you want a good cleaner, her name's Sandra. She's a beast. Lives around the corner, mate. Not far from you.
She picks up the jizz socks.
Not in my room. Maybe in my
I
friend's.
don't have a missus. He's got a missus.
Nah.
Oh, you got a missus?
Nah.
Oh, good on you, man.
No misses. Yeah, so she said to me, fucking first world problems, changing the doona cover. No, that's what she said, like the F word included.
Oh, really?
So you know when you got to put the cover on your doona cover? I mean, on your doona, the cover on your doona.
Yeah. It's shit.
It's never been done correctly.
It sucks.
It hasn't.
And there's no TAFE course for it either. You just expected to know how to do it. It's bullshit. Same with ironing. Who the fuck knows how to iron?
Yeah, that's a good point.
I had to watch a YouTube video the other day because I kept not being able to do it.
Can you make a YouTube on first world problems and then how you solve them?
I think that's a great idea.
Can you make something like that?
I do
Be
like
nice
that
to
idea.
see. Yeah.
Hey, do you know that on top of an iron, you're supposed to spray it with water before you iron?
Yeah.
I just
And it's got the steam. And it's got the steam.
It's got the
spray
steam
as well.
option.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
had no idea up until recently. I thought you just fucking squirted it to see if it worked. Oh, it still works. Why am I putting water in this fucking thing?
KP?
I wrote doing a doo-doo in public places, doing a shit in public places.
I didn't do that for years.
Yeah, I don't.
I'm not a fan of it. Don't do it.
Touch and go, bruh.
It's one of those times you really consider your life, I think.
Yeah, touch and go.
Magnesium, right? Magnesium. We've all taken magnesium supplements before. If you take too many, it causes diarrhea.
Yeah.
It's actually what they give you before you take you have a colonoscopy. I was having really bad migraines for a long time, and I used to take these before I'd go out, so I didn't feel like terrible when I was out and have a headache, have to come home. I was at King Street Hotel one night, right?
Oh, no.
I took about 8 of these. You're only supposed to take 2 a day. Need to go to the toilet. Like it's
King
not like,
Street, bruh.
Yeah, it's not like I might need to go to the toilet. It's like it's happening now, right? Someone's in the toilet, bottom level. So I run over to the Maccas.
Yeah.
Someone's in the toilet there, and in the other toilet there has been locked from the inside, and the prick's crawled out. So I did the biggest shit of my life in the garden outside of King Street Maccas. I used my sock to wipe, and I went back in and pulled.
Is that a true story? The ending?
100% a true story.
That's awesome. Now, I want to ask you why you just on that. When you were single, because engaged?
Yeah, engaged.
Yeah.
getting
So when you were
married in
single
July.
and females would ask you what you do for a living.
Yep.
Well,
I used to say, you see, I'm an actor. I'm just working on the corner game. It's an absolute true story. I'm an actor. I'm from Cork originally, and then I made my move over to Scotland because I couldn't really do a Scottish or an Irish accent. It's some weird mix. So I said I lived in both countries, and we're actually over here in Maitland at the moment. We're shooting a film for Game of Thrones. You ever heard of Game of Thrones? And I hooked up with this perp one night. Just like kissed her, and then she ran over to me and she goes, "Oh my god, I just kissed an actor." I was like, "You fucking idiot."
I love that. I'm glad I asked. Do you have a tip? Do you have a tip for the listeners? You be serious or
Yeah, I'll be serious. Be the best you can.
Yeah.
Find the best thing in life. Find something that you're really good at and double down on it. Find a way to do that. If you find yourself really good at playing footy or fucking doing whatever, cleaning pools, be the best person cleaning pools that you can do. You know, if you want to be remembered, you don't have to be remembered by anyone, but just remember yourself as a person who you would want to remember.
I like that. I'm going to get on the back of that. Mine was, if you really like something, just stick with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See it through.
You're the example, Craigs.
Little story in my life for last week. Just stick with it.
See it through.
It's all worth it.
Yeah. And I've got some landscaping to get done too. I've got nothing on next week. So
Probably, yeah.
No, I
I
really
think
do, actually, seriously.
reserve grade kicks off early, so I'll be free in the Arvo.
we've done at 3:30.
Craigs was feeling that good before this episode, eh? His ego's been kicked to the gutter,
It's all
mate.
good.
Ego's terrible too.
It is, eh?
As soon as you get an ego,
Ego is the devil.
yeah, you don't want a fucking ego, man. You do not want to fucking. You don't have an ego. at all. You're beautiful. You're a beautiful man. KP is a very nice human being and has allowed me into his house, and I've been a prick, and I would like to thank you for having me. You're a good
Thanks.
man. And worth a fortune. Pulls all the chicks. One of the greatest footballers to ever pull on the red and blue, the maroon, all the Australia. Have you played for Australia?
No,
Nope.
not yet.
Well,
Oh,
when you-
nines.
Nines, yeah. Actually,
when
yeah.
you play for Australia, you'll be one of the greatest players to ever do that, and yet you let me into your home, and I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yes.
And I gave you some vapes. Because some
which I won't be using.
some
by the
weirdo
way.
gave me vapes. I was like, I don't need these. These blokes will use them. And I gave you merch. You didn't wear. That's okay. Invited you to my podcast. Didn't turn up. Come to me show. Oh, I'm busy. But
Yo.
Connor, anything to finish?
Yeah, I had I thought of one then was be the idiot in the room. Don't be afraid to ask questions to learn more.
no, you know.
Yeah, I get you.
Yeah, have I done a good job of being an idiot in the room today?
I was going to say that about you too, but no, I won't. So I think you're very spot on with that, because if you treat yourself as this most serious person in the world, like, it's just boring. It is
I love
so
that.
rife throughout football
Thank
now,
you.
through the NRL, like people who just don't allow their personalities because they're too scared. And I understand you got so much pressure on you from people who are like, no, don't say that, media training, all this bullshit. The NRL is screaming for someone to be the Conor McGregor. If Dave Clemmer came out this week and said, who are your blokes playing this week? You wouldn't know.
South.
South.
South, yeah.
South. Who's the front rower from South Sydney? Don't know.
George Burgess.
George Burgess. If Clemmer on Twitter today said, hey, George Burgess, I'm going to fucking smash you on the weekend, everyone would tune in. It would immediately, if he could back it up, take his pay rate, it would increase that, he'd be worth more, all that type of
that's
shit.
so true.
It's the Australian culture though. Like America do it well.
Yeah.
But they're like praised for doing it. Whereas if you say something that's got the slightest bit of ego or arrogance in it, it's just the way Australia is.
Very true.
Not saying that we're not like that though, but I know what you mean. But yeah, we just don't do it.
But even if people hate you, but you get paid more, isn't that what matters? Like I know that obviously you want to be liked, but there is, look at Floyd Mayweather,
Yeah.
the richest boxer in history, is hated by more people than he's liked.
Made a steady 130 mil.
Yeah.
Look at you.
Today.
Look at
Aren't
me.
you hated heaps?
I'm hated by
You just
70%
missed one
of
part.
people.
You're not earning money. You're poor.
You guys rent here? You guys rent here, right?
No, it's actually Connor's house.
Connor's house. See, you're getting.
I pay him rent.
Did you sign like a $12 million deal for? You played 5 games. You're making more money than anyone. Floyd Mayweather's ringing you up for loans.
Kailyn, why are you going at
I just find it,
mate.
because I'll never get the chance to do it again. I might as well now.
Oh, so now I'm not invited back. What the fuck's wrong with you? We can't all make fucking your cash. Paul Croaks is over here. He's just signed a $30,000 deal for the next 10 years. He's been rushed into it. Quick, sign it now. If you don't sign it by 4 o'clock, where's my manager? Oh, don't worry about it. Just sign it. You poor bastard.
Oh my god! I had one more too. As I said to Kailyn the other day, we had a chat in the gym after the groin, and it was that no good movie was just sunshine and rainbows. There has to be adversity. You have to go through shit, come out the other side to have a good story at the end of the day.
100%.
It was nice to hear that from Connor.
Agree.
It was nice.
You're struggling with the injuries, obviously.
Oh,
No, but you are.
injuries are a mental challenge. They are. They definitely are. There's. I thought I was mental. I think I'm mentally tough, and then just the stuff that you do to get back from an injury.
Dude, you'll have so many things that bring you down to zero in your life, and you have to somehow overcome them.
Yeah.
I was talking about my epilepsy issue before, and from that I have this big fear, this really bad anxiety about having these attacks in person, in public, and it haunts me every time I go on stage, every time I drive a car. I haven't had them in years and years, and they're not actually epilepsy. It's actually a movement disorder, but it's easier to explain it as epilepsy. I had terrible anxiety. I had panic attacks every single day for 2.5 years, terrified like there was a lion next to me, and I was in a dark place. But if I had never gone through that, I wouldn't recognise the need for hard work, and I wouldn't recognise the happy, fun, exciting times. Yeah. And it is those moments that we overcome in life that we look back and think, thank fuck they happened.
Yep.
100%.
That was really nicely said. On an extremely funny podcast, you've ended on a real nice, serious note. And we thank you for that. And, mate, we're going to wrap up, and we really do thank you. We want everyone who listens to get on and buy tickets to the Outlaw Tour. Go watch his specials. They're on Amazon. And just follow him on all of his socials, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, whatever.
And buy some merch too.
And buy some merch, yeah.
Yeah, mate. Send me some cash. I accept Uber Eats, whatever. As Kailyn pointed out, I'm very poor at the moment. Thanks for that, bros. But no.
Thank you, man. Yeah. Thanks for coming on.
Well done on what you're doing. Keep doing it. There's nearly an hour, so let's wrap it up right now. This has been the 257 Collective Podcast. I tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, the biggest, the best podcast in the land. A big round of applause for the Pong Daddy, the Watt Daddy, and the Croak Boy. They'll be back next week. See you, dickheads. Bye-bye. That was shit.